Right, folks, it's another edition of For Fox's Sake, and obviously it's the game of Leicester City v Aston Villa, or rather Aston Villa v Leicester City. I didn't see the game. We was in the pub and we went for a meal, so I've got back and I have watched it. That's probably why it's a little bit late coming out to you guys out in YouTube land. I just want to start off this. I've made a few notes, so keep looking down. All right, folks, keep looking down. It's like Star Trek, innit? Star Trek had these things. So I just want to start off basically, folks, by it seems funny how Sly Sports don't seem to mention Leicester City. They keep banging on about Man City losing against United and all that kind of thing, and is the title race over and all that kind of thing, and has Liverpool won it? Well, you just seem to see, Sly Sports just seem to be forgetting Leicester, which is all fine by me, suits me down to the ground. Just keep doing it, Sly Sports, because I think you're probably still upset that Brendan basically told Arsenal to, you know, fuck off, because he didn't want to leave Leicester. So, you know, it's not Leicester's fault that they're the ones up there who are actually challenging them, you know. And Chelsea have fell by, well, they've not fell by the wayside, but you know, they've dropped off a bit, ain't they? And Man City aren't really doing the job. I don't know whether Pep will see it through. To be fair, I don't know if they're going to say, "Oh, we're going to challenge for the European Cup," because it's what the owners of Man City really want. Excuse me, I'm on the mulled wine. So I don't know. But that's all right. Just keep doing that, Sly Sports, and we're quite happy with that. Right, June. Good. Onto the game itself. I thought Villa came out and they had a bit of a plan as such. They didn't look too bad. They got stuck into Leicester. You know, they knocked the ball around quite well, I thought, at the beginning, and all that kind of thing. You know, they actually had Leicester under pressure, and you can tell Grealish wants to. He really wants to do well for Villa. The lad. He's a good little player, and it will be interesting to see if somebody like Brendan Rodgers got hold of him and if he could help develop him a bit more. I'm not saying, you know, Rodgers should go for Grealish and all that kind of thing, so I don't want to start pinching players and all that, but he just seems to need somebody help him to develop now, and I don't know if Villa are the club for him. He's certainly a good little player. He's trying. He's always wanting the ball and everything. And you know, I don't know. That's the way it goes. But it was quite good to see. Me and Ginger in the pub with June, and Ginger says, "Oh, Iheanacho's playing," and blah blah, and this and that, and I thought, well, if he's playing Iheanacho and Vardy, then he's playing two up front, and he doesn't really. That's what the way he's been setting out just lately, but. The thing is with Rodgers is he's got a plan for something or other, and it's great to see that probably they thought that we were going to set up like we have been doing, and we didn't. We changed it, and it might have confused Villa a bit. I don't know, but it was great. It was great to see. But like I say, the first half was a bit not scrappy. Leicester were getting stuck in and knocking the ball around as they do, and Villa were just, you know, trying to keep up, and they were doing well. But the thing I thought about with the first goal is that obviously Mings was injured, weren't he? Now, I have pulled a hamstring before. I entered the kids. I entered the ginger one had a sports day, and I entered the father's race on the 50-metre dash, and my hamstring went. So you know when your hamstring's gone. And I can't honestly understand why Mings carried on playing. It's not as though it's like it's a knock and you can run it off. And on the goal, you can actually see. I mean, there's some people will say I'm probably copying what the sports people have said, the pundits and that. But it is true. You could actually see him struggling. He didn't even actually attempt to go for Vardy when he was, you know, going through. And it would have been interesting to see a fully fit defender what would have actually happened then. Because that's gave Leicester the edge, and then Villa always chasing the game. So that was that. Iheanacho, what is? So see, this is what I'm saying about Brendan Rodgers and Grealish. Iheanacho came to Leicester, and let's face it, he just wasn't fitting in. He was just totally out of it, and you did actually feel sorry for the lad. And you didn't really see a place for him in Leicester. In fact, to tell you the truth, you couldn't see him a place in a Sabutio team, never mind at Leicester. But Brendan Rodgers has come in, and he has certainly done something and turned him around. And the lad is trying, he's running around, he's passing the ball, he's putting some lovely balls through to Vardy. You know, they seem to be developing a bit of a relationship as such. But it's great to see. So it's looking good. Obviously, Leicester fucked up at the end by letting the goal in. I can't see why it went to VAR. There was, you know, these officials here and that. I mean, I know that every goal goes to VAR, but is this how it's always going to be now when a goal's scored? There was no point of VAR. The ball came across, the bloke was offside, but wasn't interfering. Grealish scores. What's the fucking problem? You don't need it. All it does is just creates a waste of time. You know, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, second half came. Once again, Villa looked at like they were going to really go for it, but it just seemed to die off. And once the third goal went in, Evans, what a great goal that was. Just on the set pieces of Leicester, they never seem to do the same set piece twice in a game. They always have a different plan. They always have a different idea of what to do. I mean, the way Evans was like on the edge of the D, and then he spun round and like just lost his bloke. And for Maddison to put the ball there and meet Evans is I mean, obviously they're professionals and they get paid a lot of money to do that. But even so, it was a great goal, and he well headed it in, and that's it. But after the third goal went in, Villa seemed to lose it a bit. They seemed to like, I don't know. I mean, Target was lucky to stay on in my book. He just cleared Ricardo out. He'd already been booked earlier on, and it was a very late tackle. I know Iheanacho's was, but you can just see it wasn't as bad. But the Target's foul was. It could have potentially, you know, put him out of the game for a while. It's, I don't know. Just going on now to, you know, just going through my notes. Vardy went through once, didn't he? And he passed it to Maddison. You know, because Vardy does, although Vardy is the man to score the goals, he does actually look to see if a player is in a better position than him to score for the team. You know, Vardy does actually go along that it's a team game, and it's refreshing to see that Vardy is looking up, seeing somebody. I mean, I think Maddison, I don't know, I think, you know, I'm not in that position. I am not a footballer. I was never a footballer. I used to play football, but I was never a footballer. I was shit. So, I don't know, perhaps Vardy should have took it on himself and gone. He'd have probably scored it better than the miss that Maddison did, but even so. But like I've said, after the third went in, basically Villa just lost their heads, and I think it was a case of just damage limitation for Villa. They just tried to break everything up that Leicester tried to create. They were fouling. They were just getting. I can completely understand what they were doing, because I suppose it's better for a team to lose 3-1. Or 4-1 as it would have been at the end, than losing 6 or 7-1, because Leicester certainly had the chances, they just didn't put them away. Sorry folks, a bit of almond nut. But it was all good. I also thought McGinn was lucky not to be sent off. He got booked, and then he did a foul later on. You know, you got to think sometimes, these players, that, you know, Villa won't be going down, but they've still got to be battling to stay as high as they can in the league. They don't want to fall into that trap. And sometimes you just got to think to yourself, there's no need to do stupid fouls and get booked or get sent off, because the club needs your players, and it's all that kind of thing. Just a quick go through. I think the big lad up front, Wesley for Villa, I thought he was going to be all right, but he just seems to be losing it. And this is again what I'm saying about Brendan Rodgers. Does he need a Brendan Rodgers kind of manager to like help him through? Because if he can turn Iheanacho around, I'm sure he can turn Big Wes around. But Big Wes should just shut the fuck up moaning about everything, get stuck into his game, and, you know, just concentrate on that, not making out the world's going against him. You know, he just needs a bit of luck, I suppose. The lad does and scores a goal, but fortunately it weren't against us. Just a quick go through the players. Ricardo up and down all the while, absolutely brilliant. There were one time on the second half when he got tackled, but all of a sudden it just broke free and he put the cross in. He was basically hacked down and everything all game, but he just kept going. He got booked, and I think it was a bit harsh for him to be booked, but he did do wrong, I suppose, and that's the way it is. Evans, Soachu, just solid, ain't they? They're just absolutely solid, and I hope with Rodgers staying, it keeps Soachu to Leicester. Vardy, he's just missed a 90 minutes again, isn't he? He just gives everything, defending from the front, shuts people down. He's always up looking around. If he passes the ball and he loses it, he's there, he's trying to get it back. It's just a fine example to a young forward of today. If lads are at school and they want somebody to follow, I would say have a look at Vardy, just because of his work rate. You know, he's shutting defenders down and he's helping the team from the front. So that's what I would do. I thought Tielemans was quite good today. He making himself available, he's working, he's running. I thought the way he hit that ball over the crossbar was absolutely tremendous. He certainly caught it sweet, but he was passing the ball around, and I just wish there's just something lacking in him for me at this moment, but he's getting there. Grealish wanted a penalty at the end of the game, but it was no different to what he did to Ricardo earlier on. It was just, you know, that's it. It's a man's game, and obviously Villa were desperate to get stuff. So I just wrote here at the end. We're 8 points behind Liverpool, 6 points in front of Man City, 14 points in front of United, and I'll include Wolves in that, because a lot of these pundits will just say United. Well, don't say you Wolves as well, because Wolves will probably be, you know, clinging on to United's coattails as well. Wolves have actually surprised me, because I thought we were being in the Europa Cup, they would be struggling, because other teams have been when they've played in this Europa Cup, and they've travelled millions of miles to play a pointless bloody game. Well, it's ain't pointless, is it? Because it gets through to the next round. But they're playing pointless teams. I thought they would fade away, and but they haven't. They've kept going. So that manager is up there as well, and it's just good to see. But like I've said at the beginning of this, Sky Sports just seem to be forgetting Leicester, and you keep forgetting us, folks. You just keep forgetting us, because, you know, we're coming. But I've also put here, when all said and done, the pressure is on Liverpool to win the league. Liverpool haven't won the league's title since 1990. You know, that's a bloody long time. And all right, they're 8 points in front now, and the God knows how many points in front of whoever else after Leicester. And they probably won't be caught. But Liverpool have actually got some big games coming up soon. You know, they've got this World Club Cup thing that's just a complete waste of fucking time. You know, flying thousands of miles to play in just some shit cup that probably, all right, it means you're the World Club Cup champions or whatever. Really? Just a waste of time. So, you know, they've got some big travelling games, and then they've got like the League Cup, and then we've got FA Cups, and we've got all this, and we've got Leicester playing them on Boxing Day. You know, and Leicester haven't got any European Cup competitions. In fact, Leicester just got European English Premier League games, and you know, it's going to pull Liverpool at the seams a bit, because they've still got the Champions League. You know, and it's there. It's all mentally things for them. I mean, I think Klopp's probably the manager for them, and they will sort it all out, and they will do the job. You know, and I hope Leicester do catch them, and I hope Leicester win the league when all's said and done. You know, I'm not going to fucking lie about it, but yeah, Liverpool have got some tough games, and to go through the whole season, right, and not lose any games, and not to be caught, and to win the cups that they're in, if they do it, it will be phenomenal, and I will, if I had a hat, I will take it off to them. But it's going to be hard work to do. So I think it's going to be interesting. Let's see how we get after Christmas. See what happens then. Laters.